What is going on, Rocket Lab investors? So we were at $18.83. Absolutely amazing. So today was a wild ride. Last night was a wild ride. And last night, Rocket Lab hit, what, $20? And this morning at the open, we hit around $22. I fully expected Rocket Lab to kind of go down in price today, simply for the fact that I thought everyone was going to start taking their profits. And some people did. Some people sold their bag because they expect a pullback later on, and I fully expect a pullback. When we have this massive run up, there's going to be a pullback unless a catalyst happens. And I think there's a good chance that that could happen. I think we could score a contract. I think NASA could give us a contract. If something happens where we win that $2 billion Mars soil sample return mission, I think we would hit $30. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind. But let's say we score another, let's say we get a contract with Amazon for the refractor wheels or whatever they're called. Or hey, maybe Amazon chooses us and helps us, or we help them get their constellation launched. A lot of people saying that that's not possible, but if you look at Amazon, they need all the help that they can get because they have a certain time frame that they need to get their constellation in the air. And they only have so many rockets. I mean, they've been struggling hardcore. They're going to get New Glenn off the ground. But I think there's a potential that Rocket Lab could be a launcher for Amazon. And that could result in big money for us. Anything like that could really shift the stock price massively. And if we hang out in the 18 range, yeah, a big contract or something like that is going to propel us to $20 to $25. Now the earnings report did do pretty decent yesterday, and I'll quickly go over that just to kind of go over if anyone's new to the channel. So revenue increased 55% to $105 million. The company's backlog rose $1.05 billion, while analysts estimate we're just shy of $1.1 billion. And Rocket Lab also noted that Electron is the third most frequently used launched rocket in the world, trailing only SpaceX and China. And looking ahead, Rocket Lab expects Q4 revenue between $125 million and $135 million, ahead of the estimates of $121 million. So overall, the earnings report was really solid. Did it justify the massive run-up? No, I don't think so. I think the massive run-up simply happened for the fact that Reddit and Wall Street Bets and all the retail investors are really gaining faith in Rocket Lab, and they're trying to earn a quick buck. And some of them are doing long-term investing, but overall, we're getting a lot more exposure, and that means a lot more money is flowing into Rocket Lab. And that's why we went from $22 today back down to 18 because people are starting to sell. And I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if we're in the red, but honestly, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was green, if we hit $20 again. The big investment firms and rich investors on Reddit are really going to start milking this stock. That means you're going to see massive run-ups and then you're going to see massive pullbacks, and it kind of just won't make sense. I kind of think that's what has happened yesterday and today, but I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Why do you think we had a massive run-up? Was it just simply for the fact that the earnings report were phenomenal, or do you think it's kind of the exposure? A lot more money's flowing in, a lot more people. The Rocket Lab name is getting out there. And Peter Beck's doing a interview, I think today or tomorrow, so that will just give us more exposure. And shout out to Peter Beck. I have faith in Peter Beck, and Peter Beck today became a billionaire. That is amazing, and I truly think he's going to be worth anywhere from 5 to 10 billion in the future. And if that is the case, if he is successful like that, that means we are all making money because that stock price is going to go through the roof. But I think in order for us to hit a $50 stock price, we need a constellation. We do not need to launch other people's constellation. We can definitely do that on the side, but we need that revenue from a constellation. There's big money in providing internet. I think there's an opportunity for us to provide or earn $50 billion from a constellation. And then if we start offering phone type services, which I think we're approaching that point. With what's going on with ASTS and SpaceX, how they're trying to do their phone service, I think Rocket Lab could have a potential if we launch our own constellation. And that could be an additional maybe 10 to 30 billion. If we remain somewhat small, we're not going to go at the level of AT&T and Verizon, but if we can score, 10 billion from providing phone services, that would be awesome. So if you see here, Intuitive Machines, that's another stock, a space stock, they were up today 13.08%. AST Space Mobile, ASTS, was up 14.9%. So I think Rocket Lab really helped push everyone else up. And also, you need to be aware of that if SpaceX does an IPO where they start being publicly listed, that is going to skyrocket. I wouldn't be surprised if all sectors, but if SpaceX IPOs, that will be a big benefit to Rocket Lab. I think that would probably gain us anywhere from $4 to $5 in the stock price. But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Comment down below. I appreciate hearing them. And I want to know how you think we're going to go going forward. Are we going to go continue in the 20s, or do you think we're going to have a pullback to 14? I think we're going to probably have a pullback. Unless something major happens, I think it would be normal and expected that we're going to have a pullback, because you're going to see a lot of people start selling their stocks because they're up. I mean, if you just do some research on Reddit, you're going to see that a ton of people are up 10, 15, 50, $100,000. And it's not going to be easy sitting on that. I think you're going to have a lot of people cave, and we're going to see some massive sell-offs. And like I said, it's to be expected, and that will be normal. But let's hear your theories on this. I appreciate you watching, but have a good one. This video is not financial advice. Any statements made are my views and is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research and consult a professional before making any financial investments.